You're planning to move this year. Should you sell your house or keep it as an investment property? We'll give you an inside look at how to make that decision. I'm here with Nick to help everyone evaluate this. Nick, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Justin.
All right, so Nick, I'm going to move this year. I've got a great interest rate on my house.
Uh-huh.
How should I decide whether to keep it as an investment or to sell it? What's step number one?
Well, step number one is, do you really want to be a landlord? That's
Great
the
question.
first question, right? Landlord sounds great. The best time of a landlord is when you get the check.
Yeah, that's good.
The other 29 to 30 days is always the question. So that's the first thing you really have to wonder. Do I really want to be a landlord?
And Nick, you have been a landlord, so you can help people walk through the practical of like, hey, what are the pros and cons? How much time does it take? And all that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, I've been a landlord for almost 7 years now.
Yep.
I've had 6 fantastic years and one that wasn't that great. So I know both sides of the coin in that sense. I will honestly say it is not for everyone.
Yep.
It is something that is a job. So a lot of people think it is easy, passive money. That is not the case. But if you are ready to deal with some of the challenges that come along with it, you can choose obviously to have a property management company or to do it yourself.
Yep.
Both have its own ups and downs, but I'll be happy to discuss those with you and kind of walk you through that process whenever you say, you know what, this is for me, and we can decide what road is best for you.
All right, so someone has decided this is what I want to do. What's step number two?
Number two is, let's see if it is actually possible to do it.
Yeah, can we do it?
Can we do it?
Yeah.
So for that is not really a question for me. That is a question for a lender.
Yep.
So a lender will be able to help you out with that. Obviously, we know some great lenders that will be happy to connect you with, but that is really the second step. Does it work from a lending standpoint?
Yeah, because you're obviously, if you're not selling your house, you still have that mortgage on it. You're not taking all the equity out of the house. And there are some options on how to deal with this, but it's a different situation than if you just sell it. That house is gone and you have all the cash. So say someone talks to the lender, they can do it. What's step number three?
So number three is we look at the numbers. So the number one thing when you're looking to rent out your house is to see if it makes sense. So we're going to look at, obviously, how much can you rent it for?
Yep.
How much is it going to cost you a month? And then we're going to take in some risks.
Yeah.
So we always try to factor in about a 6% vacancy rate. That's the number one expense. So beyond that, we look at property management, see if you want one or not. That's going to be an expense. And then we're going to factor in a percentage in repairs. Now, repairs, they usually don't happen every month, but they do happen.
And one great thing about people for renting their own house is you typically know it better than an investment property that you're just buying, right? I mean, you buy a house, you do an inspection, you don't know a ton about it. You've been living in the house for 5 years. You probably have a pretty good idea of the condition of a lot of the things in the house.
Oh yeah, if you've lived in a house for more than 2 years, you know every nook and cranny of the house. You know that one outlet that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work. So you know all the things, and you can prepare for that. So that's one of the things also, when we have that initial conversation, we walk through the house, and we really say, okay, what do we need to do to get this rent ready? So that's a great way to kind of get a head start of that and really reduce those accidental maintenance costs that might occur if you just bought your first property somewhere randomly.
Yep, for sure. All right, so guys, you're going to move. You're thinking about renting versus selling. Here you go. Do you want to be a landlord? Step number one. I mean, seriously, do you want to be a landlord? Step number two, can you do it? Does it make sense from a financing standpoint? And then step number three, do the numbers work for you? And one of the reasons so many people are asking us this right now is a lot of times you have really great interest rates on your primary residence, which is always a plus. For any time you're renting out a primary residence, is the rates on those are better than investment properties. But right now, as rates have gone up over the last year, a lot of people, there's a big spread between if I were going out to buy an investment property right now and the rate that I have on my primary residence.
Oh, more than likely, you're probably looking at half the cost compared to if you buy something today.
Yeah, and so you've got that financial savings, and then like we were talking about, you should know more about this property. And so that's one of the two reasons that this can be a great choice for you, for it to be your first rental property. But you do have to answer those other questions. We'd be happy to help you do that. Nick would be happy to help you do that.
I'd be happy to help you out with that.
Just reach out like so many of you do, and we will see you guys again next week. Thanks.
Little pistol.
The
proper start to any video.
Definitely.
Proper start to everything is just...